What scam is so normalized that people don't even notice? Fake reviews. They are everywhere now. I don't even trust Reddit or YouTube comments sometimes because I wouldn't be surprised if there's company plants commenting about how great their product is. Service fees are just an artificial way to pretend prices are lower than they really are. That's only $15. Plus $10 in service fees, just say it's $25. Getting students, interns to work for free while treating them poorly. So many scams in dentistry. I've been in the industry for 12 years and it's amazing how common it is. So easy to tell someone they need a bunch of treatment they don't really need. Free trials that auto-enroll you at the end. Unpaid overtime. Any work you can't complete in your paid hours should be done by an extra employee the company pays for. By doing unpaid overtime, you are paying for the cost of your time and donating that to your employer. If a company can't afford to pay its employees for all their time working and still remain profitable, they are not a viable business and need to restructure their processes and/or pricing. If they can afford to pay it but choose not to, they are stealing from you. Rent to own, coming from someone who worked for Rent-A-Center for 3.5 years. Extra fees on travel or actually any e-commerce purchase. Convenience fees or whatever you name them. Branded diets. No company that you pay to help you diet is invested in your success. They make money when you fail and keep returning. They're all a scam. You're more likely to end up with an eating disorder than permanent weight loss. Dealerships. I don't understand how two people could buy the same exact product, trim, style, features and pay 2 to 10k difference. Edit. To everyone saying there is no supply, because of shortages. Then sell if for full price MSRP. Isn't that what it is for? Don't give discounts and don't give out incentives. What problem do dealership sales employees solve to justify getting paid so much? Congressmen can use insider trading legally. The BBB. It's a private company that had a ridiculously successful marketing campaign in the 80s and 90s and somehow got people to believe that they are government affiliated and have power over companies. Similar deceptive practices to Yelp. A lot of people don't realize that Avon is an MLM, even though they make great products you can buy from me and my referral link, JK. Cups with so much ice that you only get 4 ounces of a drink in a 20 ounces cup. Anchor pricing. When you buy something expensive, you may notice that the highest prices are the ones you see first. Featured cars on a dealer website are the expensive ones. 3 laptop SKUs, but the most expensive version's price is the most prominent one. Regular old highballing during a sales pitch. Whatever the number represents, it's designed to make you think the version they expect you to buy is reasonably priced. The fact existing customers aren't automatically moved to better deals once their contract ends. They hope you won't switch and pay the premium. That people 65 and up are considered unemployable in the workplace due to mental decline, but they run the country. Outlet malls. There was a great Adam ruins everything on him about how you are not actually getting marked down high-end products, just special cheaply made products created by brands for outlet malls. The fact that someone cut a chicken wing in half and managed to convince everyone it was 2 wings. That news stations can lie to you as long as they classify it as entertainment. Insurance. You spend most of your life giving them money, then when you need it they turn over every stone to figure out how to deny you care. Fast fashion. The reason why your clothes don't look good after you start wearing them is because they were meant to break, fade after the first wash. So you can keep buying more and more. Cars are getting harder and harder to self-repair so someone else can get paid to fix the issue. Also, electronics that have screws that the average person doesn't have the tool to open it to try and repair it themselves. Selling a pint of beer that really just contains 14 ounces instead of 16, US size. That's not even mentioning false pints that have a thicker glass bottom. Car dealerships. Why the fuck is there an entire industry dedicated to forcing you to overpay for a product and finance it with a high interest loan? It should be direct from manufacturers to customers. Social media influencer who get away with endorsing horrible products. Foam. So many cleaning products contain ingredients only to increase the amount of foam. People think foam means a better product. Your toothpaste doesn't need a foaming agent. Your dishwashing liquid doesn't either. We've been trained by marketing experts to believe in the power of foam, but a large part of it is a big lie. Time. Advertising is fucking everywhere, it takes up your thoughts, it's placed in your face, every site has a pop-up. It's flashy, planned, manipulation. It's to the point where the available advertising space has been so crammed your attention is being bought and sold in the markets. It's time to start charging. We'll be forced to wear block-out glasses and earphones just so we can filter what we're exposed to. In the year 2525. College bookstores. They are the worst. Edit. I'll keep the original wording, but I feel compelled to say our collective outrage is more accurately directed at publishing companies. Thank you, kind commenters. Credit scores. Paid off my student loans. 6 months later, couldn't get a credit card because I didn't have enough credit history. Those bastards want to keep you in debt so you keep paying them interest rather than being actually responsible with money. Burn it all down. Those things you wrap around your waist that claim to burn belly fat. It has been debunked for decades, but people still buy them. Manufactured obsolescence and the right to repair. Food sensitivity tests. This is a GIGO problem dressed up to look like medical testing. They take a sample, send it off to a lab, and return official-looking results. The problem is they run tests for the wrong antibody, so the results tell you fuck all about food allergies, food intolerances, or food sensitivity. Real food allergies involve a malfunction of the immune system antibody IgE. Garbage food sensitivity tests check for *IgG. You can walk into a local chiropractor's office or a naturopath's office where they'll gladly do a blood draw, send the sample off to a lab, and then proceed to diagnose you with food problems you don't have. Then once you pay for the testing you can pay them more for this in that to cure you of problems you don't have. Or you can cut out the middleman and mail order these garbage tests from the manufacturer directly. The problem here is many-sided. In addition to being a pretty little way to separate fools from their money, consumers who trust these test results can end up with nutritional deficiencies while they eliminate nutritious foods from their diet because they're misled into thinking those foods are harmful. Meanwhile, if the person does have medical issues, such as real allergies, the genuine problem goes undiagnosed and the unfortunate marks still end up in the not knowing why. The FTC probably ought to crack down on bogus food sensitivity testing. But so far it hasn't. Needing experience for an entry-level position. I had to get a flute for my kid, new ones cost $1,000 plus. Paid $34 per month for 3 years. Now I own this flute, ask the same place to see if they can buy it back for half. They don't buy it back. Come to find out it sells used on eBay for less than $200. I paid more than $1,200 for it over 3 years. This place was recommended by the school for the instruments, so I didn't shop around and ended up getting screwed. What a racket. Having to calculate your taxes, unless you have things you can actually claim and write off. They already know what you should pay or get back. This goes for the USA's IRS and Canada's CRA. Likely other countries too, but those for sure. Professional fraternities at university. You've been invited to join Kappa Kappa Delta because of your outstanding GPA. A prestigious organization that looks great on your resume. Please pay us $100 to be a member. Edit. Maybe I am more talking about honors societies. I don't really know what to call them. Employers not giving raises that at least match inflation. Essentially paying you less money comparatively to the last year. It especially annoys me when companies make deals with unions for like a 2% raise over 4 years, when you know the price of whatever they're selling is increasing with inflation. Microsoft Office now being subscription-based. That makes no sense when there's no new content being released continuously. Juice cleanses and detox anything. I've gotten into heated arguments with people about this. It's like they like throwing away money. For-profit healthcare that's rigidly tied to employment? Question mark. That unemployment pays only if you get laid off and not if you are fired or quit. I don't know how many times I've seen companies engineer ways to get employees to quit, or just lie during unemployment hearings. Plus how often people are just driven out of jobs by management changing. You don't get a dime if you worked for 25 years and the new boss harasses you into quitting your job. Having to pay for watching movies on Amazon Prime when you already have a paid subscription with them. Credit scores are maintained by 3 private companies and used as gospel despite terrible records of customer service when they get things wrong in the US. Filing taxes is hard primarily because Intuit has so successfully lobbied to keep and in many instances make it hard, necessitating their existence. Tow truck companies at the scenes accidents towing it to their lots then charging thousands equals big scam. Working 40 hours a week in a retail position to be given not enough money to pay for a place to live. Not a scam but a half-truth. When your mobile carrier offers you a free upgrade near the end of your contract, it's not anything free. The 2 or 3 years of the contract will more than pay for the phone. Buy the phone you want up front and then get a SIM-only contract. It's more money up front but it saves you a lot of money over the life of the phone and substantially reduces what you pay per month. Price of diamonds and the price of a cup of black coffee. Insurance companies own the estimating software they use for claims. Restaurants charge you for extra cheese or whatever, but don't credit you for removing an item out of your meal. Political duopoly in the United States. The entire way the American political system works. Paying minimum wage and expecting maximum effort from employees. SodaStream refill gas cartridge. They charge $30 each and would last a few months tops. Finally I bought paintball gas tanks, this link and an adapter, this link from Amazon. It now costs me $5 to refill at Dick's Sporting Goods smiley face. Edit. Thank you all for the concern. It didn't really cross my mind about food grade CO2, which is a great point. Several commenters pointed out going to a brew store and using gas for beer carbonation instead. It would be food grade with the cost savings. Wealthy people convincing poor people to vote against their interests by demonizing other poor people. Drugs is in over-the-counter drugs like painkillers. All drugs of the same type have the same active ingredients regardless of brand or price, the rest of ingredients are just to make it taste better. All drugs are tested and approved by the FDA before they're commercially available to make sure they do what they're advertised to do. So the cheapest aspirin does exactly the same thing as the most expensive. Any or most of feminine and masculine products. Most insurances. You'll always pay more into them than they'll give back. And when it's their time to actually cover something for you, they'll double and triple check your claim and try to find any tiny loophole to pay as little as possible or not at all. Tax filing services and the IRS forcing its citizens to calculate their taxes instead of the IRS knowing how much people owe in taxes because the tax filing services lobbied hard on Congress to have this current system set up. Also, the whole order one pizza, the pizza is $12.99. Or something like that. However, 2 pizzas magically turns into $38.94 out of nowhere. Subscription services, DLC, and microtransactions. College, university, you wasted $150,000 on an education you could have got for $1.50 in late fees at the public library. Will. Insurance, in particular US health insurance. The fact you need to pay to see people if you have poor vision. From a glasses wearer it sucks. Hi, I am Nigerian price will sand many money but need small fee payment first, thank you. Edit. I like how this started a discussion about the historical, political situation of Nigerian royalty. But you all HAV no send me small fee yet, do you Reorki want to lose your fortune? Paying to play online on console with the excuse of getting free games. What a pity I didn't ask for a monthly subscription to play games, but I just wanted to play online. Storage units. If you can't pay in advance for the time you're storing, don't fucking do it. I've sold people's entire lives through the auction process. The American dream. Home ownership, college. There are other ways to get ahead in life, trade school for example. Health insurance. Their only function is to siphon money from transactions between you and your doctor. Profits should not be a factor in healthcare. Juice cleanses. Stupid, unhealthy, lies, and a waste of money. Hot take. Car insurance. If you buy the minimum legal requirement, you have to bet that everyone else around you also have the minimum legal requirement or you're fucked. Also, if it's legally required, why doesn't the government offer car insurance? Why are private companies in charge of something that's a legal requirement? Then on top of that, You pay for insurance for your whole driving experience with no incidents, then the moment some else fender benders you, your insurance company punishes you for it by jacking up your rates. God forbid some true and honest cop lies or fills out a report wrong, because the insurance companies will just give you the middle finger. Private insurance on a whole is a scam and a half and only exists to drive up the costs of services. Luxury items. Shoes, bags, cars, belts, clothes way too expensive just because they're a high-end brand. And yes, they're all over social media and they're creeping into the middle classes. How has nobody mentioned tipping? The US is virtually the only place in the world where it's normalized. It's a scam to get customers to pay employees' wages. Employers in the industry often legally pay their employees less than minimum wage, because the gap is bridged by their tips. US healthcare. Every piece of it, from the insurance to the costs of drugs to the way doctors are forced to practice based on what kickbacks they get from insurance and the discrepancies based on race and ethnicity. You can pretty much name any part of our healthcare and there's a way that it is either fundamentally broken or designed to hurt people. Taxes in the United States. I know it sounds cliché, but hear me out. In the US, we hear about the high taxes to live in other civilized parts of the world. But those places have comprehensive medical care, free college tuition, and perquisites like a month of vacation every year and better employee-employer relations. We don't have that in the US. Instead, we have federal taxes which go to the federal government. Then we have state taxes that go to the state governments, and if you live in one state and work in another, there's no guarantee that the one state will credit you for the taxes you paid in the other state. Just like the state taxes, then there are local taxes, and again, many cities either won't count the taxes you paid somewhere else, or they will only count a portion of it. Now add in taxes for gasoline, petrol for the rest of the world. Taxes for sales, even if that item has already been taxed when it was bought, if you sell it, there's more taxes to be paid. Taxes for roads in the form of car registrations. Taxes for inheritance, if you receive money from your parents or grandparents when they pass on. Taxes for your property, that you own, but that the district you live in, city, township, county, borough, whatever, taxes you for. If you own a business, there are a whole litany of taxes that come up, depending on where you are incorporated and where you do business. If you get a hotel room, there's a separate tax for that. And then there's all the ones that I haven't thought of. We tax everyone, for everything, almost constantly. So, bottom line, let's say that in the UK 45% of your income goes to taxes. The average American Joe thinks he has it better because we don't have a tax rate like that, but if you look above, we do. I'll bet ours is higher. Taxes in the US. It's the oldest scam running, at least in this country. If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and liking. Any feedback in the comments would be greatly appreciated so that we can make these videos even better. Thanks for watching Upvote Stories.